Welcome kindreds, it's Jessica and I am back for my Cauldron month. I took July this year because it just worked out well with how everything fell, like with the moons and things like that. And normally Cauldron month, like the whole idea of a Cauldron month is that it gives you time to kind of withdraw away from anything external that is calling your attention and pulling your energy away from what is kind of happening inside you, and you bring all your energy back and pour that energy into yourself, into the cauldron that is you, or into the three cauldrons that is you, your head cauldron, your heart cauldron, and your kind of creative center cauldron. And you simmer and brew, and by the end of the month you are ready to bring forth the beautiful, nourishing things that have been brewing inside your cauldrons. And I wrote an article about this. It's an idea that I got originally from Molly Reamer, who makes the goddesses, these beautiful goddesses that you will have seen lots, especially if you've seen like my altar tour videos and things like that. And she talked about taking this time away in the cauldron and kind of steeping in your own juices and bringing forth this nourishing self. And like usually she takes like a break from creating content and from social media and things like that as well, which is definitely like part of Cauldron month, but it's not necessarily like the whole thing of it. And I feel like it also has some crossovers with depth year as well, which if you've been watching my channel for a while, 2019 I think was my first year that I took a depth year, and that idea really caught on with a lot of people who are in this community, who are interested in like tarot and witchcraft and connecting with goddess. And it just, there's definitely a crossover between Cauldron month and depth. It's not quite exactly the same thing, but it's about where our attention is, basically. It's about bringing our attention back to ourselves, like I said, and focusing on ourselves, focusing on what is brewing inside us rather than the kind of things that are going on around us. So yes, like for me, that definitely means stepping away from social media for a while, because when I interact with social media, it takes my attention out there instead of in here, but for other people it might not mean that. We all get to define our own parameters for what creates a Cauldron month for ourselves. So when I've taken them in previous years, they've been quite relaxing. They've been a real, like almost like a retreat, and I was expecting it to be like that this year as well. Like I was looking at the astrology, and yes, there were some spicy things going on, especially with that Mars-Uranus conjunction. It's Cancer month, usually in July, that whole kind of first part of July is Cancer month. And it felt like it was going to be nice, that's what I was expecting. And that is not how things turned out. So what actually happened was, it was really intense. And I don't think that this is just like a me thing, because I know there are other people in the community as well. Like let us know in the comments if you've taken a Cauldron month this year, or how you've been finding just July in general. But what I've noticed is that lots of people in the community have also reported their Cauldron month was intense. And for some people it was their first one. So they're like, is it always this intense, And no, is the answer to that, is not normally this intense. But I think the kind of combination of just like where we are in the timeline now, we're at this point where there is a lot of civil unrest in lots of different places. To me, it feels like, and like the goddess shows me that we're at this kind of turning point now, and the kind of powers that be, the powers that have had control for the last few thousand years, can kind of see that their power is waning, that there's kind of cracks appearing, There's definitely like things that are happening that are making people realize that the way that our society is set up is not helpful to lots and lots of people living in the society. It benefits an elite few and it disadvantages a lot of people. And like, there's definitely nuance there as well. Like generally quality of life for lots of people is better now than it has been in, previously in other civilizations. I'm not sure, like we don't really know beyond, when we go back into prehistory, because it's prehistory, so we don't know what the quality of life for people were like in goddess societies. I suspect that it was good, but yes, at the moment we're on this kind of precipice, or this, like in the Fool card, we're at that Fool stage where it's like, do I step off this cliff and just kind of leap into the unknown? And the powers that be, the ones who've got the power, are trying to stop that. They're like, no, 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 stay in your boxes, keep it all under control, keep a lid on it. And we, the people who are doing this work, the people who are connecting with Goddess, the people who are like opening our hearts and realizing that magic is real and that we can interact with spirits and different forces that are in this world in a very just normal, it's just a natural, normal thing to be doing, that humans are supposed to be doing this, that we're not supposed to be like ripping resources out of the earth, that we are supposed to be in relation with the earth, we're supposed to be in relation with all of these things. And we've kind of lost that, and we're waking up now. We're realizing that we are not the way that we're living is not healthy, and we want to change that. And so we're doing this work of change, and sometimes this work of change looks very kind of insignificant in a lot of ways, because it is very much more about a heart shift, a mind shift. It's about seeing ourselves, it's situating ourselves, I guess, in a broader scheme of things, in a broader view of the world. Like when we see the world as this kind of like dead thing that we just take the things we need from, that's very different from when we see the world as this beautiful, alive, just beautiful being that we are blessed to live here and we are blessed to interact with. You know, like if you've ever just felt like it's been so hot here in Wales the last like week or so, and we went up to like there's like a mountain with a forest on it fairly close to where we are, and we went to walk there with the dog because it's like too hot to take Frodo out in the daytime, and but because of all the trees it was fine. And I was just walking through past where there's like this lake and feeling the breeze on my skin, just on my arms, and I was just like, oh, we are so blessed. Like those moments of everyday magic are priceless. And every time we notice that, and like we can't, like I can't help but be grateful when that happens. You know, it's just like, thank you for that breeze. Thank you for this beauty that I'm seeing all around me. You know, we are truly blessed to be living here. And when we are doing these small things, these small acts of gratitude, these small acts of it may be tending, you know, like maybe clearing up litter, or we are planting things, growing things, you know, anytime that we are acknowledging that humans are not kind of the scourge on the earth that we kind of can be seen to be sometimes, where we can be in guardianship or relationship in a different way than what we have told is real, when we are acknowledging that there is more to this relationship than we have been told. That is rebellion. That is radical stuff that we are doing there. And like I said, it looks kind of small because it is a shift within us. But if enough of us, and I feel like there are enough of us, there are, you know, we are reaching critical mass now, and we are going to make this shift. We're going to take that fool's leap. We are going to step into the unknown and enter time, like I don't know when, it might not be within our lifetimes, but we are in this labor pains of it now. And that's why it feels hard. And that's why it feels, yeah, you know, sorry, I'm getting emotional, but because some things are really terrible right now. People's rights are being stripped away. People's safety is being compromised in lots of places on the earth. And that's really hard. But we can bring this coherence into ourselves. We can bring this connection. We can find sanctuary. We can find solace and gratitude. And those things are directly related to the level of coherence and love that there is here on the earth at the moment. And so we are bringing that, we are birthing that. We are midwives overseeing these labor pains as this new reality comes into being. And like I said, I don't know when it is going to be, but I know that it's coming. And I know that there's lots of you out there as well who also resonate with that, and you can feel it, you know, we can feel it. So we know that it's true. And so we just need to kind of ride this out in lots of ways, but also do those acts of everyday magic. Be grateful, make connection, bring more love and coherence and peace into the world, and also make community as well. And that is what came through really strongly for me in my Cauldron month. And like I said, it was intense. There was a lot of stuff like personally for me going on. I feel like this year has been, not just this year, the last 2 years for me really have been almost like a trial by fire. It's like Goddess has been saying to me, are you going to walk the talk? I've been on this path a really long time, and I've been doing, like, I felt like I have been walking the talk. I've been living in a way that she tells me is what she wants, and living according to the cycles of the moon, and doing the inner work and all that kind of stuff. And I know that obviously has been helpful, and that has moved me along this path. But she wants more from me now, and maybe from you. She wants leadership, and she wants the scary stuff. She's requiring of me to really do some really intense inner work and transformation, and heal things that I've been carrying since childhood, because those things are causing blockages, which are not allowing my energy to come through as beautifully and as boldly as it can be, which is very on point for Leo season. And yeah, and I'm gonna do it. I am doing it. I'm doing the work. And so as I work on that stuff in myself, that inner work, and like as you work on your own inner work and you're releasing things and moving through things and being brave, we are in a strength year. We are in this brave, bold strength year, and she sees us doing the work. And as we do it, and as we clear ourselves out, as we become clearer channels, and we're able to do even more, we're able to bring even more of her through us into the world. And that's the work. And so yeah, July was a lot of that. And I feel like now already, as we're moving into August, I feel like there's a little bit of respite now at the beginning of August for me to just kind of like consolidate, because again, it's not all like push. In fact, it's very rarely that. When we choose this path, we're choosing to live in a way which honors our own cycles. It honors those cycles of death and rebirth. It honors where we have like summer times and harvest times, and also times where we need to be quiet and pull back and take our energy back and recover as well, so it's not a linear path that we're on right now. But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that I like, it's hard for me because I don't want to talk too much about the personal details, and like she says that's fine. It's not, because and in the membership I share more about my personal path and what has been going on for me, but I do also always keep a level of privacy around my own work. I share what I feel like would be useful to other people, but I've never felt comfortable. I think that's part of the whole like the witches code, where we also be silent, holding that silence and space for ourselves where we don't feel it is of benefit to share that stuff is also valid as well. So I've come to terms with that in myself, because previously, the way that we are now, it's like you need to let it all out, and to be authentic, you need to share it all, warts and all kind of thing. And I do share so much, and like I say, even more so with the membership, because that's a kind of more sacred space, a safer space, a more protected space, then let's say that. I mean, I do see my channel as a sacred space, but because it is obviously public, it's not quite the same as having that container, that sort of sacred woven container, which is what the membership is. And that's what like holds people as they move through their journeys and they're doing their own inner work, and we share the stuff that kind of comes up, and you can really see, which is what is amazing, that the stuff that we're working on is often very similar stuff, because we are this critical mass. We are the people who are doing this work now, so yeah, I see the membership as this like container where that work can happen, and I share my stuff there because I feel like it gives permission to other people then to be doing the same work and working with Goddess and releasing things in themselves, and spotting themes as well. Like I know lots of people will say when in the membership, they're like, oh yeah, that's the same stuff. I didn't realize that I was connecting with Goddess, with that particular Goddess this moon, because like in every moon cycle we connect with a specific Goddess who takes us through, leads us through that particular energetic cycle that we are in. And people say, oh, I didn't feel like I connected with the goddess that much in this moon cycle, but then when you were sharing about what you've been working on, I realized I'm working on those things too, you know, because we are in this together. We are not these like little separate islands. We are all interwoven with each other. And when we see that in community, that really, it helps us to not feel so alone. And like if you're a solitary, or if you're an introvert, or if you're neurodivergent, which I, you know, will admit to all of those things, it's helpful to have a community. Not just helpful, I think it's critical, to be honest, to have community now. When we come together and make those spaces with each other, then that is something that is just so powerful, so powerful. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place in this video. It's been a long time since I've made like a face to camera proper video like this, so sorry if it feels like a little bit like, oh, where is she talking about now? But yeah, I wanted to tell you about my Cauldron month. I wanted to tell you about the membership changes. So I've talked a little bit about the membership. I haven't told you about the changes, which is basically that I am closing my membership on YouTube. I've been running the membership since February 2023 on YouTube. So, you know, we've been going for a long time, and I've had people who have been there since the beginning, which is amazing. You know, people do tend to stay because it's a hard thing to describe. Like when I try and tell people what it's about, I haven't quite got the words to describe it, because it is such a special thing, and I need to work on that. That's one of the things that I am trying to get better at, is that way of explaining, of messaging around what that is. But it is a sacred container where we work on ourselves together with Goddess, and we have journaling prompts and things like that as well, which we do. And I've been doing that on YouTube, but it hasn't allowed the right sort of space where we can, like, the way that YouTube handle memberships is that you just have like a linear feed where everything is kind of plopped in, and you can't kind of easily go back to different things. So I've created, during Cauldron month, that's what wanted to come through. The first 2 weeks I was like, oh, this is gonna be so chill, I'm just gonna be like, you know, connected. And we got to that Mars Uranus, and it was just like changes, big changes, and Uranus is often about disconnection in a way. So I feel like Uranus was what made me be like, right, wow, I need to change how things are happening, and we need to get rid of YouTube. And we've got this beautiful space now on my website, like nestled within the website, the membership portal, so that we can have all the resources there and interact with them there and find everything that you want. And I've put the moon guides and everything are all there as well, and I'm going to keep adding more and more things. There's some like meditations and things like that. It's just going to be such a treasure trove of stuff is going to be there, and I'm going to be raising the price for that because it's costing me quite a bit more now to facilitate it like that, by having it in its own space, because I have to have like a course platform and like a subscription platform and all this kind of stuff that I've had to pay for. So I'm having to raise the price of the membership, but I'm not going to do it until the 1st of September, because I wanted to give a space for people to, if they want to join at the rate, which is like a really low rate. It's £12.99 a month or $14.99 US. I've also put it in like a few different other currencies as well, so you can pay for it in your own currency, so you can see that that's happening. And it's going to stay at that price for people who sign up by the end of August. So if you think this is something that you want, like, this is the time to get in, because the price is going to go up. I think I'm going to put it up to £22, because that should then make it kind of feasible going forward to cover the costs of everything that is going on. Well, not just cover the costs, I'll actually receive money then as well. I won't just be covering the costs, which is kind of what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, and I've been taking some business courses as well, which has been really good over this, the Cancer moon is my 10th house stuff, so I've been trying to work on that stuff, working through some money blocks and stuff like that as well, because I always want to give everything for free. I just want people to have the support. But what I've been learning is that people don't always value what they have for free. And so when there is like some exchange, and the person that I've been like learning from, who is really great, and yeah, it's been an eye-opener for me doing this, because I've never really done like proper business type stuff before. He says that the transformation begins with a transaction, and that he like really believes that you need to have that transaction there so that people will actually get the results. And so, like, yes, give free content, you know, make videos for YouTube, make podcasts and all sorts of things like that, you know, and stuff for free. But the people who want to actually see a transformation are the ones who are going to pay, because that then brings them into that whole ecosystem of making a change, you know, which I was like, and it's so funny because like literally when I was learning Reiki, like in 2005 or something, I remember my Reiki master saying you must always charge for sessions, because basically the same thing, because you need to have that energetic exchange in order for the energy to kind of flow and for the person to see the results that they want. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I haven't, you know, it's still, I'm like 20 years later and I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm going to implement that. So that is one of the things, like I say, that bubbled up for me in Cauldron Month, and it's one of the things that I'm still working on. It's one of those inner work things that is something for me going forward. But yeah, it's still going to be affordable at £22 a month, but and I'm not sure what that would be in dollars, maybe like $25 or something a month. But yeah, at the moment it's obviously like $10 cheaper than that, or £10 cheaper than that. So if you do want to join, then please do join and lock in that price now before the end. And like obviously going forward, if it does go up again or anything, then you will always stay at that price that you have joined at. So yeah, that was a long-winded way of explaining it, but hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. And also talking about community spaces, there's been a big shift there too. We have a circle of kindreds on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, we have this beautiful space on Facebook which has lovely things being shared in there. I've got a beautiful team of admins there who share gorgeous things in there, and like just the group in general is really lovely. We've got about 800 members, and it's just a really lovely safe space on Facebook, which I know seems weird because, you know, Facebook, but it exists. So if you are on Facebook and you use it, then you may want to join there. I'll leave all the links for all this stuff that I'm talking about in the description box below anyway, so you can just click on that and see that. But there's a new space as well. So the Facebook group is not going anywhere, that's going to stay. We've also now got a community Discord as well. So we've got a Jessica in the Moon community Discord. That's quite tricky to say actually. And you can come and join that. I'll leave the link to join that in the description box. The link will expire in 7 days. I'm just going to do that for like security purposes. But if you're watching this video after 7 days and you'd still like to join, if you leave a comment, then I will send you a new link, okay, so that you can still come and join. It's beautiful over there. It's lovely. I paid somebody to set it up, and so yeah, there's been cost involved with that as well, but it's going to be so worth it, because it is like, you know, like in a Facebook group is kind of like haphazard, people just posting things, and we've tried to kind of organize the content, and you can search, but it's not like organized in a way that makes it easy to access everything. Whereas on Discord you have different channels, and like we've got channels for like green witchery and kitchen witchery and divination and tarot. Yeah, well, tarot obviously comes in divination. We've got an astrology channel there as well, and I've got this bot there so you can like generate charts and stuff in there. We've got just so many things like dream journaling, everyday magic. We've got and I'll share links to like videos and to extra things and stuff over there as well. And there's if you are a member, if you're a Moonwise member, then there is a section just for members in there as well, where we can chat and interact, because we had a WhatsApp group before, but it was getting like just a little bit, just too many messages and hard to kind of keep up with stuff. So now that is going to be in the Discord in its own little section. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Lots of changes, lots of things have changed, within me, and now those changes are rippling out, you know, and I am doing the work as best I can from what Goddess has been telling me, and this is why I'm passing it on to you, because I know that you are also doing that work. So I think that was everything I wanted to say. If you do have any questions or comments, then let me know. Let me know how your Cauldron month went. Come and join the Discord or join the Facebook if you're not in there already. And if you do want to join the membership, like I said, join now before the end of August, because that is when the price is going to go up. My gosh. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.